Welcome. We are so glad that y'all are here today. We are super excited to be here.
Yes.
You are in for a treat. Tonight our event is called All Together Now, a virtual night of storytelling. My name is Simone and I'm a facilitator for the GURLS program. And this is my wonderful co-host Ursa, who is a real life participant of the GURLS program.
Hi.
We love that you're here.
We want to thank everyone so much for coming out tonight. Well, coming in tonight. It's a beautiful event and it's going to have a lot of fun, a lot of memories, and a lot of laughs.
Yeah.
So, welcome in.
We hope so. We are going to have 4 stories for you tonight from community members in our very own Ultimate community. They're going to be sharing a little bit about the theme of what it means to be together while we are apart, which I think we've all experienced this past year and a half.
That's right. That's right. And we can't even miss out on the games, on the fun, and the Q&A interview with our special guest, Maddie Say!
Woo!
Very exciting.
Very excited for that. We are going to also encourage you all to participate. We're not just the only ones up here in this living room. We want you to be here with us. So please comment in the chat, tell us where you're tuning in from. Are you here in the Bay? Are you across the country? Where are y'all coming in from?
Exactly. And we're actually about to have our first poll coming up. We want to see if you're watching solo or in a group. Both are great. We just want to get a feel for the vibes tonight.
All right, so while you're filling in that poll, I want to remind everyone of our goal tonight. We are here to raise $15,000 in support of GURLS for this next year. So if you haven't had a chance yet, go to the link on your screen and you can go ahead and make a tax-deductible donation to support GURLS participants like Ursa.
That's right, and our facilitators. So, without further ado, let's introduce our first story. This comes from Sean. Sean, who coaches a youth team in Alameda, who gave all the seniors on that team an unexpected gift after their season was cut short. Here's his story.
My name is Sean Webb. I've had the privilege of coaching, been one of the many coaches for Alameda High Schools over the last few years. It's a program that's been around for about 17 years, and they, over that time, thanks to the players, the coaches, created an incredible culture and atmosphere. And so the pandemic kind of disrupted that. And what I realized was the team was strong, but what was really tough was for the seniors. The seniors that were graduating in 2020, the seniors that had been playing together for 8 or so years. They started, I think, in elementary school, and they played in middle school together. And they had played spaghetti westerns, and they had played states as freshmen and as sophomores and juniors, and they had good memories. And they were really excited to play those tournaments as seniors, to end their high school ultimate career together. They've gone through so much already, and they really wanted this sort of final hurrah. And the team was good. They were excited to play together. They were excited to do well. They did not get that chance. And so when we started beginning shelter in place in March, it was the beginning of the open season. They had dreams and goals to do well at Westerns and States, and certainly had the team to do it. And that didn't get realized. And for these seniors, going to these tournaments and doing well and ending their career together didn't happen. And that was really hard to take. And the reality was there was nothing that was going to happen that was going to have those memories at those events. I tried to figure out what could we do to allow them to have something, whether it be an experience, some form of artifact or anything. And so right before the pandemic, we just received our jerseys, and the team was excited to play in them. They were sort of designed by different team members, and there was a lot of back and forth input, and they were excited about them. So it didn't take much, but I decided to get some hoodies made that looked like their jerseys, that had their names on the back, but instead of their numbers, it had the number 20. Something that allowed them to have a very small memento or memory of this sort of stunted senior year for them, especially the stunted senior year on this team. So got the jerseys done, didn't tell them about it, and just said, hey, I got something I want to drop off at y'all's place. Went to their different places, different homes. It's great to see their faces. They seem, they were appreciative and excited. Hopefully this is something that helps a little bit and allowed for them to at least have a positive experience for the end of this year. As a group, we're back now, and what's been created over the years and by the players going through BADA programs and going through programs like GURLS has created this culture and this resiliency where, as a coach, I certainly admire, but I don't have to do much to kind of keep them together. The sport itself, the players, the participants, they do that well. They create those opportunities to bring people together. These students, these kids, they got it already. They make it simple. They care about this sport. They love playing it. They all get to play with other teams at maybe higher levels, but they love Alameda Ultimate. And as a coach, I can my job and my co-coach's job is just to keep it going. Let's not, and let them take care of the rest, because they're doing a fine job as leaders and as teammates.
Wow, that was really awesome to hear, how a small gift like that could make such a difference and an impact in folks' identity as being part of that team. What kind of jerseys have you gotten over the years that mean a lot to you, Ursa?
Well, I gotta say I'm wearing a jersey right now that means a lot to me. You can see this has the GURLS logo on it. Go GURLS. It's a reminder of the work of togetherness, of building a community, of being involved in something. And all the warmth that we share tonight is gonna be reminded in this jersey now from me. So.
Aw, that's such a sweet story.
I know. Yeah, so building memories tonight.
Definitely. Well, as you all are here building memories with us, we want to give some shout outs. Some folks entered into the chat that they're coming in from the East Bay, from Oakland. We've
Alameda.
got Malika Anderson, shout out to you. Felicia Lipansky, shout out to you. Jennifer Carruthers-Lisk. Who else is here? Oh, yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, love having you all with us. We're going to move right into our poll results. We want to find out, were you all watching solo, cuddled up on the couch by yourself, maybe with your favorite pint of ice cream? Does that sound good? Or are you tuning in with your group, maybe your pod that you've been together with this past year and a half? Let's
Absolutely.
see.
Let's see where it is. We've got 48% with the group and 52% solo.
It's about half and half.
Yeah,
all right. It's a good mix.
Flying solo, you're not solo anymore.
You're with us.
You're with
apart,
us. Of
but together.
Apart but together. We've got a theme.
All right. Now that we're all here together, we want to get you all involved. So we're going to have a little game. It's called I Spy. You might have played it before. But we're going to put a little GURLS twist on it. So there are several of these GURLS stickers hidden around our living room set. Yeah, go ahead and get a good look at that GURLS sticker. We've got the arm. So take a gander and sort of like Blue's Clues style.
Yep.
Go ahead and look for these stickers somewhere across our set. I am going to monitor comments, and maybe Ursa, you can point them out and see if folks got it correct.
I'd love to.
All right, let's see what's coming in. Put in your guesses, put in your searches. Oh, lamp.
Yeah, let's go ahead and set a timer for 1 minute from the production crew. We will have 1 minute to get, and there are 15 total stickers. So
15 total stickers.
Let's see how many we are able to find.
Okay, we got lamp. Done.
We've got
popcorn bowl. Woo, done.
Gosh, I wonder where the others are. There's some scattered around.
Someone said plant.
Like the whole arm logo type thing.
Shoe. We got your shoe.
Oh, you got it.
Jen Thomas coming in with curtain. Where's that one? Yep, this one up here.
We got some, some I'm just gesturing with a paper. Not that I'm giving hints or anything.
Which ones have we not gotten yet? Coffee table.
Just
this
a
one
couple.
down here.
Looking around. Just a few.
Awesome. Sofa arm.
You know, we've got, okay, someone's watching. Hey.
Bricks.
Okay, we've got some
bricks up
here.
there.
And, you know.
And the potted plant.
Keep your eyes peeled for that little blue.
There you go. Awesome.
There it is,
I think we've gotten all, are there any we have not gotten?
I don't think so. You know
we get the one on your...
Yeah, oh, did we?
Boom, did we get the one on Nice. All right. Well, the reason why we have 15 of these stickers, and the reason why we have 15 is to represent the $15,000 that we're trying to raise tonight to support girls. So thank you all for playing this little game, getting our energy up. Let's go ahead and introduce our second poll. I think it's time for some controversy. Do you think so?
I agree.
Yeah, let's go ahead and introduce our second poll.
Yeah, and you know what? All this fun has really been making me hungry.
Oh.
So I think our poll should be about something a little more
delicious, food related?
Yeah, so for our second poll, do you think that pineapple belongs on pizza? And you know what? If you're gonna, vote in the polls, you might as well have a reason why. So go ahead and give us your best argument in the comments. Go ahead and convince us why it should or should not be on a pizza. And in the meantime, while we discuss this and reflect on it, it's a very deep topic, we have our second story, which comes from Yunha, a girls participant. And, she tells us the story of how she bonded with her family over their love of food. Here is her story.
Hi, my name is Yunha, and this is my story. Before the pandemic, I was really confused on what I wanted to do because in middle school I had always done theater, and that was the thing that clicked with me, and it was something I just really enjoyed. But in high school, I was looking for different ways in different communities to be a part of and trying to find what I really was interested in and what I really wanted to spend my time doing. Trying to get involved with different sports, different things, and one of which was ultimate Frisbee, which I love doing and something that I'm so glad that I was able to find. So during our school's service trip, which we go down to Mexico, into Hocat, and we build houses, I was able to serve in the kids club that they had down there. And when I was a part of this kids club and just leading and ministering to the kids, I was like, hey, this is the thing I really like doing. I love working with kids and just being able to be a part of another community and being able to reach out to the younger generation. And so, okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of high school, but I wasn't really sure how I would do that. And then the pandemic hit. And so when the pandemic hit, it was really ironic because I was actually able to be part of more communities. And so through Zoom, I was able to connect with a community in Berkeley, and I was able to work with an organization called Scientific Adventures for Girls. And through that program, I was able to teach young girls. It was just empowering them through STEM, so STEM being like math, science, and just coding in general. Another community I was able to be a part of was a community in Palo Alto called Buena Vista Mobile Home Park. And so through that community, I was able to distribute food. But as I was able to learn more about their stories, more about the community, what they were going through, I was thinking, hey, maybe I love working with kids, so maybe I can start a summer camp for the kids down there. And so a team of volunteers and we started, so we planned the summer camp and we held it this past summer in 2021. At Buena Vista, I was really able to connect with the Hispanic community there. From them, I really was fascinated by their culture, by their food, by their traditions, and so learning about their family was something that I really wanted to bring into my own family, and just really wanting to create the space where my family was very important to me. Seeing how they were valuing their family really made me want to connect with my family more, and especially because it was the pandemic, that means we had a lot more time together and a lot more time to just be with one another. And so one of the ways we did that was by cooking. And so I'd watch YouTube videos, I'd read cooking books, And soon enough, it became something that my sister loved as well. And so through that, we were able to really bond together and just spend a lot of time, because cooking is a process. Cooking takes a lot of time. And so through that, we'd be able to share stories. We'd be able to find out, like, hey, what is this dish that we're making and how can we make it better? And we're gonna make it better together, not just by ourselves. We're gonna innovate, we're gonna be creative. And so it was a way for us to bond with one another, which I loved doing a lot. You know, which reminds me of when my sister made my dad Korean pa, which is like green onion, and it's like with this like red like paste called gochujang, and with like Korean red pepper. When my sister made that, he was like, oh my goodness, you just made something from my childhood. And he actually cried in tears, which is like very emotional. And so when my sister saw that, she was like, oh, I gotta start making some Korean dishes, because it's something that brings back our own Korean heritage to our plate. And especially because before my sister started cooking and before I started cooking, we might go to fast food restaurants, we might just like eat American food, but it was that she made a Korean dish in our own home, and she was bringing back our Korean heritage, which was something that made all of our family like bond over, and food became the thing that we all bonded over, especially because she made it for our family, and she was able to bring out my dad's childhood. She was able to bring out stories that we were all able to connect over, which is something really beautiful.
What a touching story. Culture, family, food. What more could you want in life?
The trifecta.
Exactly.
As I was listening to Yoonha's story, I was thinking about how much joy she has for trying new things, and how, any new experience that she had, she really like thought about and how it included other people. I'm curious, Ursa, for you in the past year and a half during the pandemic, what new experience have you had or new thing that you've tried that's felt meaningful to you?
That's a really great question. I think really just taking advantage of being with people is something that I had never really thought about before. But really enjoying the time and being intentional with the time we spend with our peers, with our elders, asking questions, really caring about people's stories has been a really big part of this past year and a half.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What about you, Simone?
Well, I've tried a few different things. I think I've picked up a few different hobbies. I know, like many other folks, houseplants have become a huge deal in my life.
Yes.
So now we have just a massive explosion of plants everywhere. If anyone has any cuttings that they're trying to get rid of, please let me know. So it's just been fun to kind of convene with nature in that way.
Yeah.
Well, speaking about being together and sharing stories, we would love to check in with our thermometer, which I think is up on the screen just now.
There it
right
is.
There.
Oh,
and
wow.
oh my gosh, y'all,
Check it
we
out.
are over 50%. That's amazing. Thank you all so
Incredible.
much for, we're hardly into our event and we're already halfway through our goal. So that's amazing. We'd love to share the results of our poll now. Back to the controversy.
Indeed. Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay?
Okay, what do
It
folks
looks
say?
like we've got, 62% for yes and 38% for no. So the yeses have it.
The yeses have
But
it.
what really interests me is the comments here. And if you don't mind, I might just take a gander at
please.
some of these. So we've got Sean coming in with the pizza is about choice and is personal. What a wonderful way to sit on the fence and let people have their own, choices in life. Beautiful. We've got pineapple is great on cold pizza leftovers.
I think the cold pizza leftovers are underrated. Yes, I second that. Pineapple on cold pizza leftovers.
Absolutely. And we've got here from, looks like Louisa, that pineapple belongs on pizza because sweet and salty is a classic flavor contrast.
Sweet and salty.
Way to bring it back to home. OG flavor combo. Oh, yes. Ooh, someone said great with jalapeno.
Jalapeno, oh my gosh.
That's right.
Whew,
That's where it's at.
I'm getting hungrier and hungrier by the minute.
Man, I hope everyone at home has a meal. Maybe, if not ice cream, then a little snack, some popcorn.
Yeah.
Like we've got, it's dwindling a little bit, but it's getting there. And, really settled in. And we've got also, with the facts, pineapple has anti-inflammatory properties. Oh. So it's good to eat on pizza after playing Ultimate as a recovery food.
You heard it here, folks. Yeah.
Well, the eyes have it. We can't beat that. Not at all.
Awesome. Well, we've loved this event so far, getting to spend this time with you. We have plenty more to come. Mm-hmm. But what we're going to do right now is take a quick break. And feel free to take a bio break, get some snacks, pull other people in your household into this stream and watch it with them.
Oh, definitely.
And yeah, we'll be back with our very special guest, Maddie Sen, in just a little bit.
Lesser parts of the community that maybe drove people out, so that way we can create a better and stronger community.
GURLS, or GURLS, as it is more commonly known as, started from a wish to better support Girls Ultimate after I moved to the Bay Area in 2015. You see, the problem facing female and female identifying athletes in our sport today were the same ones that I faced 15 years ago. Not being thrown to by my male teammates, being told I was pretty good for a girl, seeing a lack of female representation in leadership, and always struggling to find enough players to put together a competitive team. It frustrated me that even 15 years after I started, nothing seemed to have changed. In our first year as an official program, we established 4 main principles: generosity, unity, resilience, and leadership. It was obvious to me even from that first meeting so long ago, shivering in that tiny booth, eating a semi-stale sandwich, and feverishly taking notes, that this program is something special, specifically because of the girls who are a part of it. It is their voice, their ideas, and their determination which will be the catalyst for change in our sport, something that my generation has not been able to do. So I want to finish by saying to our girls, thank you. Thank you for being a part of our community, for stepping up as leaders, and for making us and our sport better.
The Girls Ultimate Revolution Leadership Series is a group of girls who get together with some adults and we talk about the issues that we see in Ultimate around the Bay Area, and we talk about solutions to those issues, and we talk about tools for becoming stronger leaders on our individual teams with both girls and boys, and basically looking at addressing and improving issues connected to women's Ultimate and gender equity in the Bay Area.
It's important because we really need to have a lot more communication and recognition of maybe issues that people don't talk about openly or don't feel comfortable telling certain people. So to have these conversations like within this program, a safe place, is really important to solve those issues.
This program is super important for girls because we need a safe space to talk about issues and then go out and do something about them and have a team to work with.
This program has taught me that sometimes there's a lot of stuff going on that maybe you don't necessarily know about, maybe it's not visible on the surface, so you really have to communicate with people to understand what problems might be going on.
In this program, I have learned how to be a leader, how to support my teammates, and also how to report incidents such as sexual harassment or bullying on my team.
One really important thing that I think I've learned is that when women get together with each other, we can come up with some amazing ideas, and it's really valuable to have female-only spaces.
Bay Area Disc Association is working really hard to promote gender equity in Ultimate, and our Girls Ultimate Revolution Leadership Series is just one of the many ways that we're working towards creating lifelong female leaders. 100% of your donation is going to go directly towards programming, and I hope all of you can donate to help support girls in the Bay Area.
Sometimes when you're here, I can feel no doubts, 'cause you keep me where the stars are found. It doesn't really matter, 'cause you're here with me now. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, 'cause you're here with me now. It doesn't really matter, 'cause I feel so free now. It doesn't really matter.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, as you can see, we are joined by our very special guest right now. He is the 7 times national champion, 3 times world champion, the coach, the legend, Maddie Say. Woo! Woo! Give it up for
Thanks for bringing me in. Everyone out there.
Yeah, give some love to Maddie in the comments.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's an honor to be able to talk with you today on this theme of togetherness and community. And kind of just to start it out, we wanted to give you a question we gave the audience 2 minutes ago, which is, do you put pineapple on pizza?
I don't, and I actually make a lot of pizza, but if you want to do that, that's okay. I don't, but I don't put pineapple on pizza. So.
What is your go-to pizza topping?
Right now is my taki mushrooms.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I actually have made probably over, I don't know, maybe 5,000 to 10,000 pizzas in my life. Believe it or not. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a lot of pizza.
Yeah, it is a lot of pizza. Almost as much as popcorn that you guys have been eating, apparently.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, yeah, I guess we'll get into it now.
Yeah.
But before this, I had never known you were such a pizza enthusiast. So.
Yeah, in my life as a teacher, we make a lot of pizza. We actually have a wood fire oven, and I have a wood fire oven in front of my house. So, on your way to Oak Tech, if you ever want to pass by, there's a pizza oven there. So.
Perfect. Will do. Well, I guess this is kind of from the beginning. What were you doing when the pandemic started?
Well, really funny, like right when the pandemic started, that day, we were about to put out the team list for our middle school ultimate teams, which was actually going to be really sad because we have too many players that want to play, and we have 2 teams, and we had to cut from like 70 kids to 48 kids. And we're cutting a lot of kids who never played ultimate. So pandemic saved that, so that was a relief. But I was about to start probably a really busy ultimate year. We're going to start middle school ultimate. Fury was about to start the club team. And then I was also in the middle of a national team cycle. So we had just formed the women's national teams. We were about to embark on practice and all of that. So went from a lot of ultimate and a couple of international clinics that I was going to run to basically 0.
That's a huge change, right? Just like that mindset from having your whole schedule, your calendar full, to then, what do you fill it with? What did you fill it with?
Well, I guess 2 things happened. One is I'm a school teacher, so basically it was filled with work because we had to suddenly scramble and figure out what we were doing. So that ended up taking a lot of my time. And then also in the pandemic, I decided to have a second child. So in some ways, like it was filled with a lot of other things, which was quite wonderful, actually. So.
Well, congratulations,
too.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. So it sounds like that was a big transition kind of from a very global mindset of, I'm in this and from here to there, to a very kind of internal almost, this is what I'm doing as a teacher and this is how I'm gonna, focus on my family even. What was it like to change the consciousness that kind of went behind your actions? And I don't know, did that change at all, and how did that feel?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I think like many other folks, it was a forced time to be reflective on what was going on in the world around us, and then also reflective on all the things that we were doing before. And I was really conscious, both personally but also professionally, for the folks that I taught with, as well as for the teams that I was coaching, that we didn't want to, whenever things kind of resumed, that we didn't want to just go back to whatever we were doing before. So, I think, the thing that was really important about that time was actually being reflective about, what we were doing and what we would want to return to.
Now that, things are starting back up again, and you mentioned coming back together, but maybe changing up some things or doing things differently based on that reflection. What do you feel like has been a couple of those things that you're doing differently now?
I think there's been more intention about, like, when everything goes to 0, figuring out what you're going to actually bring back and what you're actually going to leave behind. So there's been that as a general sense. I think in terms of ultimate specifically, kind of examining my motivations behind coaching and what's important. Also, this was an opportunity for, at least at the club level, for us to try different things, different style of leadership. I think overall just, it was an opportunity to reevaluate and try new things. And then I think personally, I've been coaching for a long time. I've been coaching since 1997. And in some ways, I'm a little bit jaded. Like I remember saying to someone like, I'm all about the process and I understand that, but I don't think I was actually living it. Like I could say like, I've been coaching for so long, I could just start out and then, the process could happen. I could just join at nationals, right? Like sometimes I felt personally like I didn't need to go through the process. And I think upon reflection and thinking about it, it was that was actually not correct. That every season, no matter how long you've been doing it, is a different season, even if it's with the same people. Like, I think we realize as we are reevaluating, like we are all doing these activities for really different motivations, and those can change from year to year. So I think a big thing for me was actually practicing what I preach was, staying in the moment, appreciating each moment. So that's actually been wonderful this club season so far. It's been really short, but like going to practice doesn't feel like a grind, and a lot of times it did. So.
That's awesome. It feels like there's like a renewed sort of enthusiasm or like kind of renewed grounding in kind of why you wanted to coach in the first place.
Yeah. And the other thing is, I think because collectively everyone was doing that and we kind of named it like, we weren't sure if we wanted to come back or when, right? There was a lot of, but by having that conversation and kind of understanding where everyone was coming from and understanding that we wanted to be as inclusive as possible, like wherever you're at, like we want you to be able to participate in whatever way you can on the team. That was really powerful. Like I think if I was just doing it on my own, like it wouldn't be that effective. But I think because it was a collective conversation, and therefore we're having this collective experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You talk about kind of the collective and community. What was it like with the community of other ultimate coaches?
Yeah, I mean, it was this interesting thing. I had a group of coaches I was working with on the women's national team, and basically we did all this prep work of reading applications, choosing the group, having an East Coast tryout, West Coast tryout, picking the team, going through the hard part of cutting people that I coach and friends of mine, right? So all of that, and then we formed this team, and then pretty much when we announced the team, it was not, announced that it was at least going to be postponed. So it was really nice to have other coaches to kind of like navigate a situation that none of us had ever been with. So that was nice. But it was also really difficult because we were trying to build a team that had never really been together and that might not exist beyond this thing on paper. So, I was happy to have, and the coaches that I was coaching with were folks that I coached with before and also really good friends. So that was nice to have them along the way, but I feel like it was a rough road on trying to figure out what we were going to do.
Yeah, definitely. I see we already have one audience question.
All right.
And there's also time to invite other members of the audience if you have questions for this legend right here.
He's here with us live, so we'll have him. Yeah.
Here it is. All right. Go ahead and type them in the chat. And we've got from, it looks like Malika. I'm so sorry. My name pronunciation. It says, "Hi Maddie, what do you do to unwind from big Frisbee weekends or take a mental break from all of the ultimate Frisbee coaching you do, other than play with your cute kiddos?"
What do I do? I don't think I do enough to unwind. Like, I'm really out of practice. We just had sectionals and I came home and I felt like this whole week I've been trying to catch up. But what I like to do unwind is definitely like spend time with my family, which I don't get enough time to do. Back to the pineapple on pizza, I really enjoy cooking, and I really enjoy cooking for large amounts of people. So cooking personally is a really nice way for me to unwind, listening to music, kind of thing. So,
what's your go-to playlist?
Oh, my go-to playlist. Well, I'm a little bit older, so on my way over I was listening to The Roots, so kind of 90s hip hop, and then 60s and 70s R&B.
Very nice. Okay. We got asking, what's your favorite ultimate play?
My favorite ultimate play. I don't have a favorite ultimate play. My favorite ultimate play is that we've done enough where people can just be free and kind of read what's going on in the field. So, sorry, I don't have a great answer.
Just the spontaneity of, a great ultimate happening.
I don't remember any plays anyway. You can ask the players I coach.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll keep throwing in your questions into the chat. And I think Ursa had a question.
I had a question, like kind of in the meantime, but also just, being able to ask you as a player of Ultimate, especially as a youth player, and being on a team that's very, it's transitioning and evolving back from the pandemic and involving new players, and, all teams are constantly evolving. how can we be the best players to create a team that's very community organized or very focused and together, bonded? As individuals, what can we do to further that, the trust in the team, so you can create spontaneous plays and be creative and flow?
Yeah, I think, right, there's kind of like the individual, your individual athlete, and then there's an interpersonal between athletes, and then there's your sort of collective team. And I think a lot of the work has to happen between the interpersonal. So, I think a lot of times, I think we know it in our mind that that's important, but when you get on the field, you're like, well, what's most important is running this play, as opposed to understanding like, oh, there's a relational aspect to what we're doing, and I think always returning to that. And it's definitely within a sports lens. Like, I don't think it should be like, hey, we're a sports team and we're going to sit down and let's just talk for 2 hours. But I think we should understand that a percentage of that time is really important, both for the experience, but also in the service of the on-field things. And I think, I coach at the highest level, and I more than anyone understand that like the ultimate part is such a small part of being a successful team. And then I think the other thing is understanding like just being on a team is not only striving for excellence like in terms of your sport, but it also striving for excellence and growth in terms of the individuals on the team. And so, when you look back on your high school team, yeah, it was like, oh, we did really well at states. But like I know from the youth teams I coach, it's like all these other amazing memories and funny memories and ridiculous things. And like that can be done with like, can happen by chance, but I think it's really, the teams that get the most out of that experience are the ones that are more intentional or give space to all of that. So that's what I would say is like, the on-field stuff is great, also spend, a large chunk of it doing the interpersonal stuff, like hanging out, having a good time, having, more personal conversations, right? Like being in high school is there's so much going on there, and people are coming from different home lives. Like that's all part of who you are as an athlete, and I think it's important to bring that to your team.
Definitely. Thank you so much for sharing so much of your story.
Of course.
We have one more question though, before we let you go. Right. Great question. They say, Maddie, this is from Rosalind. Maddie, what or who inspired you to get first into Ultimate?
What or who? I started playing in college. I never played any formal sports growing up. My parents were Chinese immigrants, and when they were academics, so sports wasn't on the radar. So I kind of fell into coaching. I blew out my ACL, and I was at Cal, and someone said, will you help out with the women's team? So the two people that taught me how to coach was the one woman whose name is Sarah Savage, and she's kind of a legendary Bay Area player. And she was the first person that had ever broken down the game. Like, I played on a really successful college team, but I was just told to run harder and faster. And then my other inspiration kind of exteriorly was Stanford. And Stanford, when I started coaching, didn't lose a game for 3 years. And I was at Cal, so I obviously didn't want that to happen anymore. But I lost a lot to Stanford. So externally, I always wanted to become a better coach to build a program to beat Stanford. So. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Of course.
It's been such a pleasure to speak with you today.
Thank you for having me.
We've gotten so much from it.
Yeah. Well, we are going to segue to our next activity, but just want to give a bunch of love for Maddie. Please, say thanks to him in the comments, and thank you for being here.
Of course.
Yeah. All right.
So.
This is a great time to encourage everyone to follow GURLS on social media. We've got all kinds of platforms, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever the kids do these days.
Yeah,
Instagram.
You're the youngest person here.
TikTok?
Oh,
Snapchat?
We do have that.
Yeah.
Whatever the kids do these days.
Yeah, there you go.
This kid right here.
This
Yep, we've got it all. So yeah, feel free to follow us there. We've got all kinds of great content and, a little bit more into what we do. And Simone can introduce our next poll.
Yeah, for sure. So the next poll is about movies, because that is what our next story will be about. The poll is, what is your favorite movie genre? Ursa, what is your favorite movie genre?
Well, I'm all about the documentaries. So that's not going to be an option in this poll. Sorry, everyone. But I'll rep the horror. I'll rep, the people who decide to spend money to be scared. That seems like a choice, right?
That seems like a choice. Definitely. Well, our next story has to do with movies. and how the power of movies sort of bring people together. So our next storyteller is Chris, who took advantage of technology to foster his friendships and be together, apart, and this is his story.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris Hocat and this is my story. So when the pandemic started, everyone kind of fell into their household pods. So the group of friends that you could hang out with because you lived together. My pod included 4 or 5 of my friends, as well as 1 or 2 people from outside the pod, one of them named Lily. She'd come over often, we'd play board games, we'd do family dinner nights, we'd watch a bunch of movies, TV series, that type of stuff, and binging. About 8 months into the pandemic, like a lot of people, she moved away. So she moved up to Seattle, and we weren't able to continue doing those board games, those family dinner nights. It's kind of hard to do from an hour away via plane. We're trying to find a way to maintain that friendship, maintain that community, and stay together. So we remembered we both have Netflix. We both have the ability to watch things virtually. We discovered a tool called Teleparty, which actually allowed us to sync up our Netflixes so that we could watch at the same time and chat. It had a chat feature to where we can kind of talk to each other on the sideline. And oftentimes while we were watching these shows, we would just be catching up on life. We found ourselves watching shows 3-4 times a week, hanging out together for 10 hours a week, even though we weren't together. We were finding ourselves either engrossed in the show, talking about what's going to happen next, or if the show was having a lull, we found ourselves just catching up, finding out what you have for dinner, relationships, friendships, who are we hanging out with things slowly starting to open back up, some 8 months after we had already started watching shows. We found ourselves playing Frisbee, going back into the world a little bit, but we were still able to use that time to catch up, to kind of find out what's going on in each other's lives without the need for a prompt or anything like that. We found that it just became a little bit more natural. I decided I'd take it. I'd use it with a couple of different friends. So everyone from 20-minute drive away to some people that live all the way in New Jersey, so an 8-hour flight. We would be watching TV and catching up, and instead of having that pod of 5 to 6 people, my pod grew. So I had a lot more friends that I was able to have within my close-knit friend group. So some that I would talk to once a week, sometimes every 2 to 3 weeks. We'd do an actual just movie night. We'd plan food together. We'd order Italian and watch that and eat similar cuisines while hanging out together, to the point where I don't think it's something that's gonna go away. Even when the pandemic does ideally end and everything is opened back up, I think it's something that I'm gonna stick together with, because it's the easiest way I found to do something I love, which is watching TV, taking in movies, while also talking with my friends and catching up in a way that's low energy, relaxing, and focused and scheduled, which is super, super nice. And definitely something I plan on continuing to do. And I might even start doing with even more friends as we go. I'm already doing 3 series, so we'll see how that goes. But something I love.
Welcome back, everyone. That's such a beautiful story again. The idea of being together in different ways. I must confess, when I first saw that, I thought he said telepathy, not teleparty. I got really excited, but it's still exciting. And being together in new ways is a really cool thing.
Yeah, definitely. What resonated with me is how he talked about how his pod kind of became his group of people when the pandemic first started. And then through the power of technology, he grew that to folks even across the country. So I'm wondering for you, Ursa, during pandemic or this past year and a half, how's your pod changed? Did you make any new connections?
Yeah, well, a lot of the work that I've done has been with the organization I'm a part of, the MLK Freedom Center. So we've been doing a lot of work nationally. Now that we're on Zoom, we can work with people in Montgomery, Alabama. We can work with people even in different parts of the world. And so being able to connect through a very methodical, intentional change-based practices, I guess, has been really cool. But I don't know.
That sounds like really rewarding work.
Yeah, it's
That's
really
awesome.
cool.
Well, speaking of connections and making connections over movies and television, let's give a check to our poll results. Ursa, would you mind doing the honors?
Oh, I would love to. Let's see. Oh, ayo, we got action, 12%, horror, 6%, and comedy with 71%, thriller holding up with 12%. You know, Simone, I never asked you, what's your favorite movie genre?
I gotta go with the crowd and say comedy. Yeah, I love a good movie that hits you in the laughter, you know, the funny bone. In fact, I would love some recommendations. It's been, it's been a busy week. I want to unwind. I want to watch a comedy.
Yeah.
What's everyone's favorite comedy movie? Go ahead and throw that in the comments real quick. Let's see what comes up.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, someone said, where did all the popcorn go?
Yeah, it's an excellent question, Ursa.
These stories have been making me hungry, especially Yunha's story. Can you blame me? That looked so good.
Yeah.
All those meals, all those family shared moments.
Definitely.
So yes, the popcorn is a little bit gone, but it's okay. There's still some left.
All right. Doesn't look like I'm getting any recommendations. Well, sit on your secrets. That's okay. We'll come back to them. But we are going to take a little bit of a bigger step into your living room, at least one of you all, and invite an audience member to join us for our next game, which is a movie trivia game. So
That's right.
We're going to have the fabulous production team snag that one person from the ether and pull them into our Zoom-verse. Okay, they're coming up. Hello! Hi!
Welcome.
All right, I think we might need to plug ourselves in to be able to hear
true.
them. So we're going to do that. Ursa,
Technology
will you plug
things.
this on that
Oh,
side?
I would love to. Let's see.
Pause
How
for
does this work?
process.
There's the headphone jack, I think.
All right.
Tell me if you hear something.
Hello?
Hi.
Who are we speaking with today?
My name's Allison.
Ooh. Let's see if we can hear you. Hold on. Okay.
Okay, hi.
Can you hear me okay?
We can, yes.
Oh, excellent.
What's your name?
Allison.
Allison, welcome.
Great to meet you.
Yeah,
And
happy
where
to
are
be here.
you tuning in from?
Oakland, East Bay.
Oh yeah, Oakland.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Thank you for being part of our event and being willing to play this game. So what we're going to do is read off a plot of a movie and then give you 3 answers for which movie it belongs to. And it'll be your job to guess. So it looks like the first question is up on your screen. You've had a little bit of extra time to guess it. All right. So a bunch of dudes driving cars really, really fast for 9 movies. Is it A, Dude, Where's My Car? B, what's the second answer? Transformers. Or C, Fast and Furious.
So it seems like a lot of these have dudes driving cars fast, but I think 9 movies tells me that it's Fast and Furious.
Yes.
That's right. I'm
Very
trying to
good.
just point out that this franchise began before I was born.
Okay.
So it's been around for a moment. Simone, do you want to join me on the couch?
Sure, let's do this. Yeah, sorry.
All right.
We're
here it
tethered
is.
to each other. Okay, Allison.
Second movie prompt. 3 extinct animals and a squirrel wander around trying to find some humans. So we've got, for options, A, Rio, B, Fantastic Mr. Fox, or C, The Ice Age. Go ahead and take a pick.
I think that it's Ice Age.
That's right. Oh yeah, Sid's grinning buck teeth are looking at you so happily.
Awesome. All right, we got our third question. So the plot is cool spaceships, adorable androids, a bad guy that has difficulty breathing and lightsabers? Is it A, Star Trek, B, Star Wars, or C, Battlestar Galactica?
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it's Star Wars. I'm also, we're marathoning Star Wars right now, so this is right on brand.
You don't
Very nice.
say.
What movie are you on right now?
I think we just got through the actual first one, New Hope, which is, what is it, like actually number 4? I don't know.
Yeah. So Simone, fun fact, actually has an impression of one of our favorite characters from Star Wars. I think she wants to share.
Okay, Ursa. This is funny because I have not seen hardly any Star Wars movies. Yeah.
Thank you, Simone.
But we'll put on my list. All right, you got the next question?
Yeah. Okay, so we have a 4th movie plot. So this one starts with a teenage boy. So this teenage boy is with his friends. They fight the same noseless villain over and over again. Is it A, Harry Potter, B, Lord of the Rings, or C, Narnia?
Well, I know that in Lord of the Rings, Sauron technically doesn't have a nose, but I'm pretty sure that it's Harry Potter.
That is correct.
Very good.
You have outsmarted us. We were not prepared for 2 noseless villains.
Your movie trivia knowledge is, yes, quite far surpasses ours. All right, looks like we have one more question.
Oh, excellent.
So we'll get them to throw it up on the screen. Our question, our movie plot is, a bunch of superheroes come together to defeat a purple alien obsessed with stones. Is it A, Dragon Ball, B, Avengers, or C, the Justice League?
This was also one of our pandemic binges, as Avengers.
Very nice. Woo!
That's right.
What is your favorite Avengers movie, Allison?
I know this makes me super basic, but I really love Endgame.
Oh,
Wasn't
Endgame like 3
women
hours
like fighting together made me like just weep.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
Togetherness.
Togetherness.
On the battlefield. Hey, it's togetherness.
Like, we planned for you to say that.
Exactly.
We did it, just so everyone knows.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for playing, Allison. It's been really great to have you, and we'll take it away to our next activity. But thank you so much.
Bye. Yeah, so we have our 4th story coming up. And this is a really special one about togetherness and recreating from what was to what can be. So we've got Felicia, who converted her shed into a workout space for her kids and their friends. Shout out to her in the chat also. It's great to see you on. So this is her story.
So my name is Felicia Lipansky, and I'm excited today to share a little bit of my story of the shed that is. And I have 2 children, a son who is 19 now and came up since 6th grade playing Ultimate through BATA, and my daughter who is 13 who has played on and off through middle school teams and summer camps. So we initially had a very small room in our house, and my son thought it would be a great idea to get a few weights and use that room as a weight room. And as you all probably know, a lot of teenagers in a small room just look really funny. They're just such big human beings now. And they were all cramped in this tiny room working out and being loud and smelly. We said maybe there's another way that we can still have a place for them to work out. So at the time, we had a little shed in the backyard, which was a guitar building space for my husband. And I was very excited because he had moved out of that space and I was going to get my own she shed. I was very excited about having some space that was my own. So I moved all my office things into the shed and life was good for about 2 months. And it became evident that for teenagers in a small workout closet was not going to be the answer. My she shed was a short-lived idea and we canceled the painters and we moved all the furniture back out, and the kids quickly moved whatever equipment we had down to the shed. One of the most fun stories is we were picking up some free weights from a gym in San Francisco, and the man who owned the gym was so excited that kids wanted to build their own gym that not only did he sell us the free weights, but then he gave us a whole bunch of discs and bars and benches and told us to take it all for the same price. So we were very excited, and I can show you what it looks like now. So my son left for some trip at some point, and we realized that the kids didn't need to stop their workouts just because my son wasn't around. So we decided to make up 10 or 15 keys, and we gave them out to all the kids that were using the gym and told them they could use it as much as they wanted. And the only rule was they had to text us first so that we could make sure that there was only one group in at a time, and clean the gym between and do all our COVID precautions. And all keys left, and it's really nice to always have somebody around. There's music blasting. So let me give you a tour. As I said, a gym in San Francisco, and when we arrived, the gentleman was so excited that it was the kids' initiative. He was touched by that, and so he gave us all the dumbbells, and he gave us the bench, and we got the bars really off next door. Everything came from a different place. I used to work out in another gym, and the head of the gym said he had a couple pieces of equipment, so we also have these workout balls and medicine balls and those things. And then we decided to put up a little TV. So the space continues to evolve, and we still have kids that come, and we're excited for the community to take advantage of the space. We're excited to see how it grows and how it continues to be part of our community. It's very meaningful for us, and we really enjoy the noise back here and the energy that it brings.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We've been enjoying our popcorn while we watched Felicia's story. What really struck me about that story is how she made a bunch of keys and gave them out to a bunch of people, and just like shared a resource that she had, that her family had with so many other people, and got to support her community. I thought that was really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just the willingness and openness to repurpose and to reuse. And to, I think, really bring everyone together in a new way has really emphasized what the pandemic means to a lot of us. Rethinking the way we've thought about things before and opening them up so that we can let more people in.
Definitely.
It's a very beautiful moral and a very beautiful story.
Yeah.
And everyone will notice on the screen we're about to have the thermometer pop back up. And it has some pretty incredible news. Simone?
Okay. Let's just take a moment and just pause and say that we have reached 90% of our goal tonight in the last hour, right? Like, we bumped up a whole bunch. So right now we have $13,499.91. I love it. I love it. Thank you all so much for supporting so far. And for those of you who haven't gotten the chance yet, there is a link on your screen. You can go there and fill out the little donation to-do. And while you're taking a chance to do that, I actually had some questions for you, Ursa. I know we had Maddie on earlier as a special guest, but I also wanted to acknowledge that Ursa is also a special host of this event, because how long have you been in GURLS?
This is my third year in GURLS.
Third year in GURLS. And I'm curious, for from your experience and going through the different years, how do you feel like you've changed from when you first started as a freshman, I'm guessing, or is it sophomore?
Sophomore.
Yeah, as a sophomore to who you are now?
Well, I guess maybe the first thing to point out is that I did join as a sophomore, and the reason I joined was because as a freshman I was playing as a girl on mixed leagues and also on girls teams, and the girls program had stickers just like we were finding earlier, and pamphlets, and was kind of recruiting from the girls there, and was like, hey, do you need or do you want to see yourself grow in leadership and grow on the field? And I was like, yeah, I could use some of that. And so I joined the program, and ever since then I've noticed that who I am on the team reflects a lot more of who I want to be in general. And I've tried to do a lot of leadership stuff outside of Ultimate, and Girls has been the bridge kind of between my life, in quotes, and then Ultimate practice. And so I've noticed it not only improve my leadership, but help to make me a more whole and complete person. And also Simone, another incredibly special host, by the way, can I just say. As a facilitator in Girls for 3 years now as well, right?
Yep.
I'm sure there have been lessons with the program or feelings with the program, and I'm just wondering how you felt over the course of these 3 years.
Yeah, I think it's been really interesting just to see, where we started 3 years ago. We were in person. I was working with a group of just 3 players. And then we switched to the pandemic version of the program, which was all online. And we had 10 folks in our cohort, which everyone did such an awesome job. They were on camera. They were, you all were participating. And I was so grateful for that. And then we're back in person this year. So it's been fun, to have that arc and to see the different ways that we do activities and talk about some of these topics. But I think at the end of the day, what gets me the most energized is just you all, and having you all show up week after week and come up with amazing service projects. You really care about it. You're really passionate about it. And I'm really glad to be a part of the team that supports that, that supports you all to, grow in your skills and launch you off. I know everyone's going in amazing direction. So I'm excited to see what you do next too. I know. Okay.
Well, you mentioned a service project. Yeah. And I'm wondering, there may be some people on that aren't quite familiar with the service projects we do or the work that we do. So do you want to break that down real quick?
Yes, service projects. So this is a core component of the Girls curriculum, where it's not just about developing leadership skills and doing activities to practice some of these things, but it's actually let's apply this to something we care about. So the service projects are usually around topics that the participants like yourself care about and want to change, want to improve in their team, in their Ultimate community. So there's been a whole host of things. There's been articles written, there's been workshops on equity, there's been, what were some from your year one?
Yeah, we did a lot of confidence boosting in female identifying players. I know there was a group that did racial equity workshops. And so a lot of that kind of community aspect and trying to teach popular education, that kind of thing, to bring it in. So
yeah. So there's a whole host of things that we're always trying to support, just new ideas and creativity and getting folks involved and supporting them to launch their own projects in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of launching, we have one more video left. Until then, we do have a poll to launch. And this is, how should the host read the credits? And I know what you're thinking. Credits are boring. However, we're going to make this the least boring credits and maybe one of the most entertaining things in general you will ever see in your life.
We know that you all are at home and we're all up here and you get to decide what you see. So our poll is, how should the host read the credits? While dancing, like pirates?
Oh yeah.
Or like fish in a fish tank? We're very curious to see your responses. All right, so if you haven't had the chance yet, go to the link, run through those donation pages. We would love to have your support for our next year of Girls. But thank you so much for watching, and as promised, our last video.
It's an incredible program because it's not just a one-off, 2-week course or 6-month course. It's like a 4-year program or a multi-year program, which allows for the attendees and the folks to be able to really grow. They can learn from not only the great direction that BARDA provides, but also from the older members of the program, those members that have gone through it year after year, as they themselves have increased their abilities to communicate, to show empathy, to develop equity within the program, unity, and empower other players, both female identifying and male players, to be the best they can.
I've seen a lot of tricky moments on the field and off, and the girls really impress me with the way they're able to have a voice and be part of the conversation.
I think the girls program is super important just because it helps to unapologetically create strong, confident women, not necessarily just for the ultimate community, but for the world. I've gone to one of their programs that was talking about just creating an inclusive team, whether that's an inclusive ultimate team, an inclusive community, an inclusive workplace, and to see so many women leaders, both working within the girls program and coming out of it, I think it's awesome to see and something that we need a ton more of, and GURLS is providing that for us.
It was a really great experience just being able to see Frisbee players from across California able to learn how I can be a leader on the field. And so even though I might not have the best shots, even though I might not be the fastest runner, I know that I can make a valuable contribution to my team. The staff in GURLS just partner with me and work alongside me to be able to serve my community through what I love doing, which was Frisbee, was just a valuable experience to me. And so that's why you should donate.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, it's time to check our thermometer one last time.
All right, let's throw that thermometer up.
See how it's doing.
All right. Oh my gosh, we are so close, y'all.
Home stretch. Okay. We can make this.
We are
can
at
do it.
$14,052. We are 93.68% of the way there.
Y'all, we are so close.
So close.
We are so close. And all it takes is a little bit from here and there and there and here, and we'll be able to meet our goal for tonight, which has been an incredible night. We've had a lot of fun. I hope you've had a lot of fun. It's been an incredible way to spend time together and to be together apart, and to be in community with one another.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of community, y'all don't see everyone behind the camera, but it is an amazing production team. They are called Diffworks, and they're a multimedia company that does live streams and video production. Really awesome team, so please check them out. We are going to encourage you all to keep donating. You know, our event is ending in a few minutes here, but we're always around and always grateful for the support to keep the girls program running. We would also like to thank you all at home as our audience. We haven't been able to see very many of you. We did see you, Allison, though, so thank you for popping in. But really great to read the comments and see you all participate. It's made us feel a little less, lonely.
Yeah.
So we felt very much togetherness with you all tonight as well.
Yeah, and I would just like to take this time also to thank Simone so much for being such an incredible co-host and for making life up here much easier.
And to you as well, Ursa. Thank you for being an awesome co-host. So I think the moment has come for us to meet our fate.
I think so.
And let's throw up our poll results here. Oh, it is a close one, folks. It is very close. So Wild Dancing, 33%, Like Pirates, 28%, and Like Fish in a Fish Tank, 39%. All right, y'all. Ursa's gonna put her fish hat on, and we're gonna get into it.
Courtesy of Diffworks. And we've got a tote bag coming up. Might have to run and get that.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, and there's a whole light on this. It's party time. Stay Diff.
Get that anglerfish logo.
Oh my gosh, is this how it goes? Oh yeah, okay.
All right,
well,
thank you
already
all.
know what time it's for. It is time for credit reading.
Credit time. Let's get those
Okay,
signs
let's
ready.
do this.
Roll them credits. All right.
Are you feeling like a fish, Simone?
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling like a fish.
That's me.
All right. All right. Credits we've got. Wait. Coming from underwater, we've got our host, Simone.
We've got Ursa.
We've got our special guest, Maddie Singh. How do the gills work? They work. Storyteller number 1, Sean Webb, active in the chat also. Thank you so much for logging on today. What a pleasure.
We've got Yuna Park, participant in the girls program.
We've got
Christopher Hocat.
Felicia Lipansky.
Our very own Jen Pashley.
Woo, Jen and Daniela Lopez, our producers. Gotta love.
Our production company, Diffworks, with Lamont Harper,
Go
TK
English.
Campbell, Rowan Gibson, and Daniel Strickland. Woo!
Thank you all for tuning in. Stay cool.
Thanks, y'all.
All right.
Someone give us some fish.
Some fish
you
noises
rock.
in the chat.
Okay.
We
Fish
love
noises?
that. Fish noises. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So until next time, stay safe, everybody.
Keep on swimming.
That's right. Just keep swimming.